Well, good morning, my friends, and welcome back to Claiborne. I thought I would do an update. We've been working so hard. My husband's been home over the last week. As many of you know, he is dealing with some health issues, and when he starts feeling poorly out over the road, he comes home for about a week and gets some rest, gets to sleep in, and has no schedule, and just piddles and does what he feels like. And mostly all I have him do is move stuff around using the tractor. And I do all the heavy work. So I'll start here. We have some spare dirt that we had dug up. We're moving our outdoor outhouse. And we had the man dig a huge hole. Last year we're doing an outdoor shower and outhouse this year. And so from some of the spare dirt and rocks, lots and lots of rocks were dug up. We're filling in all the low spots in our yard over here from when we had electric put in. How long's our cabin been here now? 2 years? This is our third year, I guess. Third season now for the cabin. I'm just now getting the dirt to fill in all those low spots. So I still have some raking to do out here. And then I'll come through and throw down some clover seed. Then if you come down this way, I put in a new lane. So this is where it ends so far, and I'll take you back through the garden. We're gonna have long shadows this morning because it's early in the morning. The white lilies, so they got protected. Even when we had the tree cut down and we've done all this dirt work, and I've squished out all the wildflowers that we're growing here, and we squished them out with cardboard and leaves and whatnot. We squished everything out, and this is where the new medicine garden will be. So I've got an abundance of cardboard. So I think I'm tired of trying to cover the cardboard, and it's been blowing around. So probably most of that cardboard there is going to be picked up and burned. Then many of you remember the old refrigerator. This is actually a painting from a picture that I took in one of my gardens. And it's been filled with bunny poo and compost. And it's going to be filled with tomatoes and basil. So any old thing can become a planter with a little imagination. So that's my refrigerator planter. This part here is still a mess. I'm still working on it. This is a work in progress. This is going to end up being a giant fairy garden display. So you can see there's the refrigerator, there's a broken down wheelbarrow, the refrigerator door, which is where I'll paint something about fairies being hard at work. The stop sign's going to be moved to over there where I'm going to have a parking lot. That's the top of a grill, or the bottom of a grill and the top of the grill. And y'all remember me doing those a long time ago. I managed to save those with some chicken wire on the inside and filled them with soil. And they've been planters ever since. So, yeah, you get the idea. Refrigerator, wheelbarrow, broken down grill. But all of that can be repurposed with a little imagination. The greenhouse. This is the Bohemian Butterfly. And I'm starting my planter right here. As you can see, I've got the foundation down. I haven't got the sides put on yet. All these pots will be filled with lavender and rosemary. That's what I make my favorite massage oil out of, is lavender and rosemary, and that's one of the things I'll promote here at the Bohemian Butterfly, is to show people how to make their own massage oil. The little display came out cute, and then this hook here is what holds my door open. I got the big Stumpy. I got him moved over, and I'll be chiseling the Bohemian Butterfly onto that. Let's see if we can get this open and go in for a moment. I don't think the wind's blowing too hard. I just have a makeshift step here for now. And I loved the popsicle sticks and how that ended up looking so colorful and bright. Problem was, I ran out and I haven't been able to find any more. I can't find popsicle sticks, peat pots, or trays anywhere right now. So I'm way behind on that. So I just had to grab whatever I could find and use. And then we put a hole in the floor, and I brought an extension cord in, and I can have my grow lights and my fan. And then it's really bright. I don't want to put the camera up into the bright sun, but on both sides, we're going to create spaces up here for displays, and that's where I'll be putting my bamboo wind chimes that I'm making and my macrame plant hangers that I'm making, and offer them up for sale. And then back here, I'll put in a shelf for hand-painted fairies, and we'll put those up for sale. And then this side over here is my workstation. And under here, I don't want my guests to see all of this clutter, so I'll be adding some doors and make up myself a little cabinet to sort of hide everything, as well as hide my cash box. All right, I'll take you up and show you what I've done in the garden. All right, it's hard to tell, but our driveway has been widened. Well, I guess you can see this is all new gravel, so this is how much wider the driveway is. Yes, I did that. My husband dumped the gravel and I used the hoe, and I did all of this gravel work. That's why today my back is not thanking me, but I'm very happy with it. So right up to the front of the Tin Lizzie now, and this alleyway's been all cleaned up. And then we're adding some more clematis on this side. We've got a beautiful vagabond clematis on that side. And then there's going to be a gate here. There's only going to be 2 ways into the garden. And of course, it's going to have a gate because, well, you know, it has to be protected when the guests come up, and children are very curious, which is one thing I adore about children, but they can't, you know, come into the garden area unsupervised. And so it'll have to be gated off until it's well established, and then I can open the gates and let the children come in and play with the butterflies. But for now, we need to get it established. The butterfly way station is being redone this year. Look how good the rose is doing. That's a native rose. That's a prairie rose. It's hard to tell in all this sun, but she's growing outside of her cage now. And then I created a path all the way down here. Look how nice this is. That goes all the way down. So you can walk along the outside, which is where the guests will walk to view the garden. Or we can go on the inside. The peonies are up. Yay for peonies. So this whole area here is peonies, and we're adding a bunch of tulips to that. And then this is all lilies, and the lilies are all coming up. It's just hard to tell right now who's who and what's what. But this whole area right here is lilies. Then we added 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Over here for flowers. And then down here by the bee box, we've saved space for 2 butterfly bushes. And then there's another 2 rows here. So that's 6 new rows that we put into the flower garden. Then this space right here is going to be saved for autumn flowers. And right outside the garden, it's hard to tell right now because I haven't cleaned it up yet, but there's 2 rows for my favorite flower, the zinnia. And the pumpkin patch is all ready, which the pumpkin's going to be sharing a spot with Queen Mullein. So we have some mullein growing there. And I'm going to let it keep growing. Then we had, this is an old established bed. But this one's going to have new flowers in it. The 2 bottom ones are already, they have perennials already. And look how many pots for gourds this year. I can't wait to do gourds. So I've added this rope, some cages, and I'm adding chicken wire. So the gourds will have something to climb on. Now these gourds go crazy. So I'm hoping I can just train them on down and around in there because they literally want to go down the hill. The ones I grew last year did. And then that brings us to the back of the greenhouse, and we filled all of this in with dirt. And then we're putting a red clematis back here. This is just a table for display, or 2 tables actually for display. And then that brings us to the back gate, which is right by the composter. Well, you can hear my blue jays screaming in the background because I'm a little bit late getting the food out this morning and everybody's fussing. They're establishing their territory and talking to each other, and the birds are just so amazing out here. This spot over here is being dedicated to some of the earlier flowers of the year that already grow here, and I've added tulips, and there are some lilies growing here, and then I'll just fill in this whole thing. These irises don't do anything. I've had them 4 or 5 years now, and they've never done anything except spread. They clump and they spread, but they don't produce for me. I don't think it's sunny enough for them, so I'm pulling all those out. And oh look, some more lilies over there. And I'm slowly replacing them with just lilies and spring flowers. And then I love this road right here. It's so nice. Oh, I love walking on it. 5 years ago, or was it 6 years ago now, when I first moved here and they first come up and cut all of this down for me, I remember walking here and my feet crunching the dried stems and just feeling so amazing just walking here. And it still feels that way. I haven't lost that yet. I still love just walking here. There's times I just can't believe this is my place, and I can't believe my business is finally going to get off the ground. Before I go, I also want to mention the boat. So I told you about the refrigerator, the wheelbarrow, and the 2 pieces of grill. This old boat is something we're going to pull out, and then we're making a spot right over here. We're going to gravel it and fill that with soil, and we're going to plant it with some native grasses and some taller plants to show that you can create a garden anywhere. Today my electrician's coming, and right over that road is the cabin rental, and we're hoping to connect the 2. And I still want to do an update on the cabin. I just haven't had a chance yet. I have worked on the geocache part of the trail, and I'll be showing that next time. All right, y'all. Love and light. Many blessings.